Alright, double feature of runs today involving Pangasius, which is a tier 3 from Mini Pack 3, and it has a very interesting ability. It allows you to copy its own ailment to the frontmost opposing pet. So the goal here is to set up a team such that the frontmost unit of their team gets the ailment, and then Hawk will snipe immediately to take advantage of that. So ideally I want to have double Hawk and then double Pangasius in the backline as well. And hopefully we can eliminate some very large units by using the multiplied effect of the ailment. If I didn't say that already, Pangasius will multiply the effect of the ailment that it gives at the higher levels. So if we can get it all the way up to level 3, then we can get triple cold or triple icky. And with that level 3 Hawk, you can actually do a huge amount of damage with that. So we don't get any of the ailments that we want there. I did try the transform on the previous turn to try and get the second Pangasius, but it ended up being a flying squirrel instead. The only thing that we have to watch out here is making sure that the Hawk doesn't end up with higher attack than Pangasius. And given that the main one is at 20 attack already, that's not going to be a problem. So here you can see the idea. Obviously we just don't have enough damage yet, although it is enough to beat this team. The Hawk being at a higher level and the Pangasius being at a higher level will hopefully get the job done. And actually if we have two different ailments and then we stagger the attack values, we can actually make the Hawk shoot in between the two ailments. And sometimes that's going to result in double KOs, but other times it's going to double KOs once we have the second Hawk, that is. I guess it just looks more spectacular as well. So still looking for the level ups. I guess I can go for Kets once we've used up the Gelada here. And yeah, we need to get some more stats onto the other Pangasius. Just making sure that we don't mess up the order. So here you can see it working. If the Hawk hadn't one-shot the front unit, then the cold would have been overwritten by the Icky. So I think we might be able to scrape a win here. Oh no, it's a tie because of the strawberry. Okay, now we get level 2, so cold should be doing an extra 10 damage now. We'll activate the Gelada just to make space, and then we're looking for another Hawk. And actually, if the first unit gets sniped, then of course the Hawk can snipe the second unit. Okay, so here you can see it working. The combination of the two abilities removes the big unit at the front, although I think we're just going to scrape a tie. It would be better if we had the Icky on the multiplied, on the level 2 Pangasius, but it just so happened that that was the one I took first. Now we can play Tiger instead of Hawk in second position. That will work as well. Okay, not sure why I sold it there. Must have been a reason for it. Okay, there we go. Maybe it's because I wanted it to be a symmetrical looking team. I don't know. But there we go. You can see how it works. The first unit gets one shot by the multiplied cold, and then the second unit gets one shot by the Icky. So we do actually lose anyway there because we didn't have level 2 on the Terrapin. And we can go for level 2 here as well. We just have to make sure that the one at the back doesn't get higher attack than the front Hawk. Again, we get the double knockout. Although, yeah, hopefully the weakness doesn't result in us taking too much damage from the geometric tortoise there. I think we're going to lose again though. Yep. We really need the level 2. And we also need to not face teams that have snipes that are going to hit the backline units. We can, we could afford to buff the one at the back as long as we don't go above 15 attack. And we'll get the level 2 next turn. So here's another one. Okay, not quite enough damage. And actually the Stego ended up giving the buffs to the unit that had already been reduced down. But this time we do win, so we just need one more. And we'll get the level 2 Icky. I'm not exactly sure how the multiplication works for Icky. There's a lot of things in this game where you'd expect it to multiply, but it actually is more additive. But here you can see, we don't have quite enough damage there to knock out the Harpy Eagle because the Hawk was only level 1. And it's a draw, so we do get the chance to potentially level it up. We can't just swap the order of the Hawks around because then and then the front one will snipe before there's an ailment on the second unit. Okay, this time we do face a snipe team, so we end up losing both of the units in the back line. That's going to happen quite a high percentage of the time, I think. It's just the risk you have to take, playing a unit with an ailment on it in the back. There we go, we get level 2 Hawks, so now we should be doing a lot more damage. I guess we can see how much it actually is. Very big scaling team here. Okay, if the front unit survives, then obviously the second snipe won't actually hit an ailment. And we're going to lose again, so we go down to 1 heart. It was looking really promising for a while there, but it's kind of fallen apart at this point. Not really a whole lot for us to buy at this stage, other than Peaches of Immortality, which are in every custom pack now. So please, no crocodiles. And it's actually Troubadour playing a 3 squad. I think he's made a couple of videos about this team. And yeah, so maybe not the most accurate representation of the strength of this team. But I did think it was quite funny that we ended up facing True in the final battle. So now we'll move on to another Pangasius team. And this one is a little bit more complicated, I think. Or maybe it's just a little bit more atypical. We're going to try and play Pangasius with Confused. Or Confusion, I'm not sure, is it called Confused or Confusion? Either way, it's the ailment that transforms your unit before attack. So how are we going to make a fun team out of this? Well, the idea I had was to put Confused on the frontmost opponent and then have a Sumatran tiger at the front. So that will force before attack trigger at the start of battle. And potentially, if the attack is high enough on the Sumatran tiger, we can transform the frontmost unit into something completely useless and deny its start of battle ability going off. Now, I can't remember off the top of my head if this actually works in this particular run. There's Broken Bench, actually, nice to see. I should mention this run is from back in February, so it's pretty old at this point, but that's just the reality of the backlog. And then we can sell a Gelati here and bring in a deer. This one we don't need double Pangasius, but it would be nice to have higher level because then we can transform the opposing unit down multiple tiers. And we should be okay here with the level 3 Saker Falcon in the backline. Does seem like it's going to get changed in the recent test server. Hopefully that doesn't go through, but there have been a few changes recently which I really haven't wanted to go through, and they've gone through. So it's just a cross our fingers scenario. And yeah, we're going to take Free Dog because we know we need Sumatran Tiger. And I think Freeze the food because as soon as we get the Tiger, we want to start pumping it full of stats. At least full of attack to make sure that it goes off quick enough. Of course, it has to go off after the Pangasius, so both of them need high attack. But here we've got 5 hearts and it's turn 10, so we're doing pretty well. And that was a turtle that got turned into a dung beetle, I think. So yeah, it can be very, very disruptive, this transformation ailment. And then same deal with the Terrapin, we can replace the ailment afterwards, although actually having the Pangasius transform into something else is fine. Here's a team with Nurse Shark, but they don't have any trumpets. Sometimes it does kind of highlight opposing teams like this, where you see a unit and you think you're going to get a really devastating transform, but it turned out they weren't actually using the ability at all. So level 2 Giant Otter. That's also just to give our Sumatran Tiger a bit of survivability when we do finally get it. I suppose it's also just a unit that I don't use too often, so nice to mix things up. Yeah, okay, so here against Mido, we completely ruined the setup with the Cali Greyhound turning into something else. Obviously, we don't have the Sumatran Tiger yet, and we're still going to lose anyway because this is a strong team. But nice to see the transformation doing something. So now we just need the Sumatran. And I'm sure I'm going to get it, because otherwise I wouldn't have uploaded this run. Okay, it's not there. Alright, Peacock transforming into something else should mess up this team. Looks like free to play, to be honest. Yeah, definitely. And just roll down again, looking for Sumatran Tiger. I don't think we really need level 3 Pangasius. Wow, not going too well. But we still got 4 hearts, so we are actually in the position where we could start throwing if we really wanted to. But I think this team is weak enough that I was expecting to start losing naturally pretty soon anyway. And yeah, just this turn, I think, yeah, we were very close there to actually winning by accident. Or winning despite not being a very strong team. And here we go, Sumatran Tiger in. And then I think we'll just pill the Terrapin onto it. Okay, we're going to take the Melon instead. Now it does only have 9 attack, but we should see the combo go off here anyway. And we could take another Giant Otter. So we should see it work here, assuming the frontmost unit doesn't have a high enough attack. And there we go. We transform the Nyala into a skeleton dog and then knock it out before the whale can even swallow it. I've actually got the Pangasius effect there. I guess because it actually transformed itself. Was that Pangasius transforming into another Pangasius? I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Or maybe we turned into a stork and then spat out the Pangasius that way. That would probably make more sense. So Panther is going to get transformed into something else. They actually lose Coconut as well, which is amazing. Although I don't think it's actually going to matter. Yeah, I'm going to get destroyed by this Hatching Chick team. Nothing new there. Now we get to level 2. Now playing level 2 Sumatran at the front isn't the best because obviously you're going to miss out on the splash damage on one side. But the whole purpose of this combo is to trigger the ailment. So here we go, we deny the Fossa activation because it transformed before its start of battle effect could go off. I think we're probably still going to lose here though because it's Behemoth. Actually, it's Bugwagon. Boo hiss, Bugwagon, what are you doing? I'm sure that was a random pack. But now actually we're on 1 heart, so we can use the soup. I don't think I mention that very often, that when you're on 1 heart you get triple from soup, which is incredibly good. And I'm on 1 heart a very high percentage of the time. And then look at this. This is from the period where there were a couple of people doing this with the 3 squad or 2 squad with Anubis and Eagle. And we actually sweep their whole team without losing a single unit. So slightly less efficient than just playing Redlit Batfish at the front, but it's much more satisfying, I would say.